Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show, as I've done for the last couple of years now, my monthly music finds. Now again, for those of you that don't know the way that I decided to do this, 9 times out of 10 I don't show albums that I've already done extensive videos on. I'm going to break that rule for this particular video just because I didn't buy as much this month, and so just a brief kind of show and tell here of a couple of albums that I've already talked about. And yeah, I think they're worth showing again, especially having had a little bit more time with them over the last month. So I have one CD, technically standalone, and then I've got a bunch of vinyl records, a couple of new records. So we'll jump into it. The first one is the CD. This is Somebody Tried to Sell Me a Bridge by Van Morrison. This is his latest album. I think it's like his 40th or 41st album. I don't remember. I did do a review on this record a few videos back, if you'd like to check that out. 20 songs, mostly cover songs of blues songs. It's a little bit slow for me. It's very bluesy. So if you like bluesy Van, then you'll like this. But Somebody Tried to Sell Me a Bridge with that unbelievable artwork there. Van Morrison. This is also the other one that I've shown this past month. This is the We Gotta Groove Beach Boys box set, the Brother Studio years. This is specifically focusing in on the Beach Boys Love You record, as well as 15 Big Ones and Adult Child, which all kind of are around the Brian's Back campaign, where Brian Wilson was kind of back in the producer's chair with the Beach Boys, though he never really technically left the group. It was kind of the first time in a while that he had taken kind of a big portion of the production credits. So very, very solid. This comes with 3 LP and 3 CDs. I've listened to it. It's great. The booklet's great. And I highly recommend it. I know the second batch of these box sets comes out later this month. So hopefully those of you that ordered a little bit later, get your copies very soon. All right. So those are the 2 that I've shown. Next is a couple of new ones. A couple of new ones. This is the latest by Pokey LaFarge. This is a 10-inch called Travelin' with Pokey LaFarge, Voice and Guitar Volume 1. This is the first release off of his new record label called Boxer Boy Records. It's making reference to the tattoo that he has of a little guy there boxing. And yeah, it's exactly what the name implies. This is an EP of just Pokey on his electric guitar and vocals. He's doing some original songs. Actually, when I got to see him last year, he did a couple of these, including the song Pickup Truck, the song Keep a Knockin', Arkansas. One song that he did years ago called Josephine is on here, and he also does a version of Ain't No Grave with his wife, Addie Hamilton, the old gospel cover. So very, very cool. Again, it is short record, 6 tracks, but hopefully that means we'll get another Pokey related album maybe later this year. Who knows? I'm excited to see how Boxer Boy does. So if you like Pokey LaFarge like I do, again, kind of a throwback sound. I always say kind of think Leon Redbone mixed with some St. Louis kind of blues stuff, and that's Pokey LaFarge. So Traveling to Pokey LaFarge, Voice and Guitar Volume 1. New music from Pokey LaFarge. Love it. This is one that I ordered a long time ago and finally came in. This is In Search of a Revival by the Olympians. The hype sticker, this is the Plaid Room exclusive splatter color vinyl. I think this is 10 years since the Olympians had released their previous album. A lush, introspective collection of cinematic instrumentals, a must for fans of David Axelrod and Phil Spector Productions. Love David Axelrod's work during the Bush administration. That's a joke. This is the Coal Mine exclusive Plaid Room variant. Look how pretty that vinyl is. It's so cool. It's instrumental. Phil Spector, I didn't hear necessarily that kind of thing, but it's kind of got like that neo soul, like again, cinematic is the best word for it, instrumentals. very much sounds like it could be the base of some hip hop tracks, even though it's not hip hop music. Again, cinematic. You could definitely hear this playing in the background of like a detective movie or something like that, but it's fantastic. I really, really recommend this. I can definitely see this rising in the ranks this year for new records. So the Olympians, In Search of a Revival, check it out. I think that is all of the new albums. This was a piece of VCLT, Vinyl Community Love Train, which is essentially, that just means that somebody in the YouTube music world sends you a record or sends you a gift, and just out of the kindness of their heart. My buddy Glenn Kellaway gave me this, and I meant to do a full video on this, but things got in the way. I just did not have the time to do it. But Glenn sent me this album. It's by a gentleman named Ken Whiteley. This is called Up Above My Head. Now, Glenn saw a video that I did a couple months ago where I talked about Rafi, the children's folk artist from Canada. And he is good friends with Ken Whiteley. And Glenn messaged me and said, I'm going to be in Florida visiting my daughter. I'm going to send you this record. And I'm so glad he did. This thing is awesome. This is gospel music, but done in such a way. It's just beautiful stuff, just folky, and just Ken Whiteley has this gorgeous voice. He does songs like Working on a Building, which is an old traditional tune. The song Get Happy. He does the song Up Above My Head, I Hear Music in the Air by Sister Rosetta Tharpe. My Journey to the Sky, another Sister Rosetta Tharpe tune. Touch the Hem, which is by Sam Cooke and the Soul Stirrers. If you like that kind of 70s gospel sound, again, with Ken playing guitar with just these very mellow kind of singer-songwriter vocals, this is just very well done, and I really enjoy this. And Glenn also sent me one of the nicest letters that I've ever read. I think he was trying to make me cry, and I yelled at him for that, and I said, don't ever make me cry. But Glenn, thank you so much, man. I love you. This was an awesome gift. Thank you so much. I showed these in my black and white thread that I did that's still going around, and thank you to everybody that's done that. I've got about 35 entries, and it's been fantastic to see them all, and they're coming in every day still. I did not think that it was going to blow up like this. But I showed these albums. I'll show them briefly again. I bought these at two of my local stores. I did not have a copy of Hard Rain by Bob Dylan. This is from his Rolling Thunder review tour. The second leg of it, which was a little bit more shaky. It didn't have the same kind of star power that the first leg did. But you still have him doing some killer vocals on here. And you've also got artists that you would know, like T-Bone Burnett is on here. Mick Ronson is on a song. David Mansfield, Scarlett Rivera, the fiddle player who was with him for the majority of that tour. But he's doing songs from... Blood on the Tracks, like Shelter from the Storm. He's doing Idiot Wind, You're a Big Girl Now. But then he's also doing the 60s stuff like Stuck Inside a Mobile, Maggie's Farm, Lay Lady Lay, and Threw It All Away. Great stuff. Dylan is on fire. He is shooting venom with his vocals on this record. And then this is Everly Brothers, Stories We Could Tell. This is a promo copy with timing strip here, which is really, really cool. This is the Everly Brothers in the 70s doing some really good songs, including Stories We Could Tell by John Sebastian from the Love and Spoonful. They do a song called Christmas Eve Can Kill You, which is great. They do Mandolin Wind. They've got some big names on here playing as well, like Clarence White, John Sebastian, Waddy Wachtel, Ry Cooder. Lots of big names on here. So great kind of country rock stuff from the Everlys toward the end of the first part of their career. Next, I grabbed this with some Barnes & Noble cards that I had building up. I got a couple of gifts from work over the last couple of Christmases that I just never used for digital Barnes & Noble's cards, and then I had some stuff from other friends and family members. I finally got the half speed of Who Are You by The Who. I just got this, I think, the last day of February, so it just made the cut. But yeah, this completes my Who half speed series. Obviously, this is the last album with Keith Moon with the very eerie Not to Be Taken Away there on the back of the chair that he was sitting on. Sister Disco was kind of a moderate hit. But pretty much other than that and the title track, I don't know much else other than the production by John Astley and Glenn Johns. So Who Are You, Half Speed, happy to finally complete that collection. And then lastly, I'll show these all at once. This is a group that I might do a designated video for. I was listening to the local music station here, one of the local like public independent stations, and they were doing like a garage rock show or something like that one evening a few weeks ago, and they played this song by a group called Sharp Pins, and the name of the song, and those of you that follow me know, I've sent it to you probably, called I Don't Have the Heart to Tell You, from this album, Balloon, Balloon, Balloon. I bought this on Bandcamp after hearing that song and then spot checking a couple of other songs on this record. Get this album. Balloon, Balloon, Balloon. If you like 1965 Who, if you like, you know, the jangly pop stuff. I mean, look at that cover. It looks straight out of like 67 or so. But the song that I'm talking about, I Don't Have the Heart, it sounds like it's from like a Mersey beat group out of Liverpool or something. This is pretty much the solo project of a young guy named Kai Slater, who is in a couple other groups as well. But this is kind of like his side project. He's out of Chicago, Illinois, and this is just fantastic. I bought this and I said, "Whoa, this is great." And I listened to it. It's very, very good. You know, it definitely needs a few more spins for me, but it's kind of hitting me like, you know, the band Chime School that I really got into last year. Very, very good stuff. So I picked up Balloon, Balloon, Balloon by Sharp Pins. I also picked up two of his other albums that you can buy physically. This is called Turtle Rock, which is an interesting cover. It's like a brownie with raspberries or caviar or something on it. But it's a turtle. And then this album called Radio DDR. Out of the three, this is probably my least favorite. This one kind of leans a little bit heavier into the indie rock that I'm not a big fan of. I need to give it another spin or two. But yeah, still really good stuff. It's interesting that he kind of jumped from that into this album and then the other album. And so many of the songs just kind of stop and immediately go into the next one. And it's really, really cool. Very lo-fi. It's mostly recorded in his house. And again, like a lot of these, you know, Bandcamp artists, they are very lo-fi. Now, one of my commenters, I can't remember who it was, has seen them. And they recommended that if you ever see them live to bring earplugs, that it's incredibly loud. So keep that in mind. I know that they were just recently in Baltimore, Maryland, which is the closest place to me, but that's still several hours away. But it looks like they're kind of known in that indie jangle rock scene. So 3 records by the Sharp Pins, and that does it for me from February of 2026. We are into March. Have a couple of things that I know are coming that I'm very excited about. And yeah, that's it. Let me know what y'all think of these records and CDs. Let me know, yeah, if you bought anything cool yourself. Leave it all in the comments. I'll talk to you. In the meantime, y'all be good. Take care. We will see you on the next one. Bye now.